So you might have watched my video yesterday talking about internal boundaries. These are just a couple of follow-up ideas after the episode this week about a system for boundaries in marriage. Today I wanted to talk just briefly about commission versus omission for how we're thinking about instituting boundaries. So you'll remember back in the episode that first tripwire, that thing that causes the boundary to come up, is going to be a harmful condition. There is a disregard for safety that you can point to and articulate. Now, one of the things that I talked about in the episode is this concept of standards and boundaries. And generally, standards are not where you set boundaries. Boundaries are that line you don't cross. Standards are that line that you're trying to meet, the good stuff you want. Boundaries are for the bad stuff you won't accept. Okay, the utility of that is we don't use boundaries for our standards, right? Now, similar to that is this idea of sins of omission versus sins of commission. So if there is something that your husband or wife is not doing, what I'm going to say is generally you don't need a boundary for that thing. Now, I say generally, there are exceptions, okay? If you think they are actively not doing that thing on purpose, as might be the case with stonewalling, okay, maybe we have boundaries for that. But I'm thinking more of something like, you don't validate me. You don't take the trash out at night. You don't appreciate me. You don't empathize with me. Again, you think about standards and boundaries. You're saying, you should be doing this thing. If I were in your shoes, I would be doing this thing, but you're not doing this thing. That's not where we're going to go all the way down to boundary of refusal in our framework. We might express ourselves. We might seek buy-in. We might want them to care about that thing with us. We might want things to be different. But because there is not a lack of safety, because they're not actively doing something unsafe, we don't need a boundary, okay? So again, that's just important to distinguish, is usually you're going to set boundaries around and against those quote-unquote sins of commission, not sins of omission, because it's something that they're doing that we're protecting ourselves against, not something that they're not doing that we're trying to force them to do. Again, that's kind of the whole point, is that boundaries are purely for protection, not for coercion, not for inciting change in beliefs or anything like that. It's just, are we safe? Yes? Okay, continue. We're going to keep trying other ways to find this. Now, tomorrow I'm going to talk a little more about what you might do instead of boundaries, so come back for that. Either way, I hope this gave you something. Much manly love. We'll see you on the next one.